Hey there. The end of the year is always a great time to think about what's happened over the past 12 months, but also to make plans for what's going to happen next year or even the next few years. And lo and behold, one of the things that happened in 2024 is that there's a brand new way to invest, maybe even a brand new way to think about how to invest. There's a brand new thing in town, and it's, of course, called high yield products, high yield ETFs. Now, when something new comes out, obviously there's an immediate reaction. And when something that kind of seems good, what happens? We immediately think about risk. So what's the truth? Is high yield really risky business? Or is high yield truly revolutionary? And maybe it's time going forward to rewire our brains and think about something else. Well, if we're going to even consider doing something new, we better see results. However, it's not easy, right? Because people fear new stuff. We all do. It's in our human nature to fear new things. It's what keeps us alive, right? Something new is a threat. So it protects us, but what does it also do? It's what holds us back. The fear of new things is called resistance. Remember Stephen Pressfield's really, really good novels, really, really good books? He calls it the resistance, capital R. It's the thing that holds us back. It is the fight against new stuff. And as I said, and as you know, high yield is new. It just really started in January, February even, and it's happening all the time. I mean, it's not stopping. It's only getting bigger. And what happened? Well, the J&J, the dividend aristocrat people, the people with their 2% dividends that grow 5% a year, they freaked the heck out. Just look around YouTube. Just look around. People aren't like, oh, that's interesting, I'll pass. They're like, kill the high yield, kill them, burn them, right? People get really, really mad about high yield without really knowing much about it. How do I know they don't know? Just listen to their reasons. They don't have any, right? The main thing that people hate are the big numbers and that high yield is new, right? But the main thing you'll hear is high yield is too good to be true, and anything too good to be true is bad. And they'll also say all high yield are going to zero. It's just math. They are going to zero. Well, that sounds bad. Too good to be true, and it's going to zero. Is it though? Right? That's what we're going to find out. But they're saying we're all going to die in there. This is absolutely the creepiest moment of Poltergeist 2. You're going to die in there. You're all going to die. Well, that's us. Well, I don't know if you're us. Maybe it's just me. But the people who love high yield, you're going to die in there. Okay. But are we? Like I said, let's find out. Here is, back in February, well, let's give the background story first there, friend. I got interested in this several months ago, way before even stuff came to market. All right, I started hearing whispers, and I started studying it. I immediately became fascinated because when you see big numbers, you should get fascinated, right? Be curious. Well, in February, I stopped being curious, and I said, I'm going to track this darn thing. So in February 2024, I put together what was, at the time, the craziest, freakiest high-yield portfolio possible. And I just kind of kept my mouth shut. I put it on my spreadsheet, and I track the prices every month in real time. Well, it's the end of the year, right? It's the new year. So let's take a look at what happened. And it's a portfolio. I'll reveal it at the end. I'm not doing that to be suspenseful. I'm just trying to keep the flow. But here's what happened. Starting in February 2024, a sample portfolio of $10,000 with this high yield would have turned into $13,000. That's a 32.46 return. Okay? Oh, how did the SPY do? How did the market do? Oh, the market had a phenomenal year. Surprised everyone. It is absolutely historically good, right? Now we know that certain cycles are more profitable than others, Santa Claus rally, all that. But guess what? The market had a phenomenal year, and high yield beat it on a total return. If you talk about all the money created. Yikes! Yes, it was a little higher standard deviation, but it had a lower drawdown too. Huh. Let's dig further. Now, this assumes that we didn't take the money, that we did not take the high income. All dividends and distributions were reinvested, okay? But here's the income that was provided by this portfolio that we'll see in a moment. Just over 4 grand. Now think about that on a 10K account. It's 40% yield. 40. I mean, 4% yield in the old ways of thinking was phenomenal. Probably too high, right? Easy, cow kid. It's not a cowboy, it's a cow kid. Easy, cow kid. 4% is a little too high there, right? Well, this is not 4, it's 40. Okay? Now, we didn't take any of that money. We just reinvested it with the idea that maybe someday we're going to take all this juicy income and maybe change our lives, do something, I don't know, like change our lives. Anyway, boy, that's a lot of income, right? Now, let's assume we did this for 3 years, right? Now, any dividend aristocrat, dividend king proponent, watch the videos. There are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of videos that say, if you get a dividend portfolio, and again, it's fine if you want to do that. Perfectly fine if you have $8 million in the bank. It's great. But if you take a dividend portfolio and it makes your 2 or 3% if you're lucky, and it has a dividend growth of, I don't know, 7 to 10, whatever. I mean, 7 to 10 is phenomenal. Let's say it grows a little bit. In 40 years, you'll have $1 million. I mean, it's 30, it's 40 years, right? This is not 30 or 40 years. This is 3, okay? Let's assume the portfolio we're going to look at, we just did it for 3 years. 3 years is nothing. It's 3 hockey seasons, Harold, right? A few good men. And this is mere 3 years if we reinvest it. So it's a 3-year commitment to high yield. Yes, it's too good to be true. 3 years commitment. Well, the ending balance is $240,000. The total return is 140%. The average annual return is 34%. Now look at this. Now this is assuming a $100,000 start. $100,000 start, right? Because the idea here is, hypothetically speaking, of course, we're going to live off this. We're going to change our lives in 3 years. Our lives change forever in 3 years. That's the goal, right? Crazy goal, I know. At the end of 3 years, right? We haven't taken a dime. At the end of 3 years, we would have hypothetically $96,000 based on this year's numbers, which I tracked in real time. Wow, right? We can pay ourselves almost $100K a year, right? And take it all. And those are the total dividend payments. And now our yield's up to 71% in just 3 years. So think about that. What if we only needed $50,000 a year, right? Well, in the end of our 3-year experiment, we could take our 50 grand a year. Hey, that's plenty, right? Depending on your situation. And you still have 46,000 a year. What do you do with that? You put that back in. The portfolio can still grow. So then 50 can turn into 55, turn into 60. At least that would be the idea, right? 3 years, not 30. We don't need to start when we're 17, go back in time. It's crazy, right? But it's new. Now, let's say, whoa, now. What if we did not reinvest? What if we need the money now? And I get it. That's what these are for. What if you do need the money now? Well, if you need the money now, you're going to sell Apple? You're going to lose your shares? You're going to sell out of those, and when Apple goes up, now you don't make as much? You're going to sell when Apple is down. You're going to sell when your NVIDIA, not NVIDIA, but NVIDIA, if you want to pronounce it right. If you want to sell your NVIDIA, then what are you going to do? Just give that up? Sell it when it's down? It's horrible. It's a horrible thing they have to go through, right? But high yield, just take the money. Just take the money. Okay. Well, here's the problem. Here's where the pitchforks come out. It's loss. It's down for the year, right? The majority of the return we saw was in income, but that's what it's for, right? I'm not getting frustrated. No, I promise you. So you're down 6% for the year, okay? Meanwhile, the market was up, right? 26.7. This is actually, it's not from February. No, actually, it might be from February. Regardless, oh, sorry, I'm an idiot. This is because Spider's not reinvesting either. The Spider has a minuscule little dividend, so apologize. That's why this is a little less. So if we don't take any money on either, it's -6. Ooh, we lost money in an up market? Yeah, I guess. Here's your income, right? over $3,000. Just take it. Just take it, man. Just take it. So, yes, our portfolio is down, right? It would be down a little bit. But is that worth it to see a little bit down in our portfolio and we immediately changed our lives? Again, what if this is 100,000? We just took 30,000 out. What is 30,000? Is it a mortgage payment? Does it pay off your car? If you live super meagerly, does that pay all your expenses? And you don't really have to panic. You're just down 6%. Now, is there a chance it might go down next year? It might go down a little bit again, right? What's going to happen in a bear market? It's going to go down like anything else. But holy moly, immediate solution income has come in. Fascinating, right? Now, again, wasn't trying to be suspenseful, but here's what I did back in February 2024. It's Coney, Tesla, Apple, NVIDIA, SVOL, JEPQ, JEPI, and QYLD. Nobody does QYLD anymore. Well, in February, I was young. I was silly. I didn't know what to do. But that's the portfolio that you just saw that created all those numbers. Okay? There it is. I'll give you 2 seconds to look at it. There you go. Interesting, right? And oh, by the way, equal weighted. So just the same amount of money for each. I didn't do anything fancy. Okay. Well, if you know high yield at all, you know that something's missing, right? Astute followers will notice that there is a big name, probably the best name in high yield. You know what it is, right? Now I am being suspenseful. I apologize. But I made this portfolio, and that big dog wasn't out yet. Okay? So I added it back in to be suspenseful, and was it better? Yes. We made a little bit more money if we would have added the one more, and it would have almost doubled the market if you took all the money, right? If you reinvested all of this is assuming, of course, that we did not did not take any money out. But at the end of 1 year, we would have beaten the market by a mile using high yield. And here's the income with the new and improved. It was literally just 2 weeks after I made that portfolio. But now we would have made over $4,000. Again, all dividends and distributions were reinvested. So could we do this one for a couple years like the others? Of course, right? Of course, right? Well, so you tell me. It's a new year. It's time to think about things. Is high yield high risk, right? Is it? Is it risky? Doubled the market in one portfolio and beat it with another, right? Is it risky or is it a market-beating strategy? Well, this year it's a market-beating strategy, right? Again, though, depending how you use it. But it's also an income-producing strategy. It's a way we could take all of it. We could take some of it. We could take none of it. But guess what? We get to make that decision with money in our pocket. We're not making this decision from weakness. Or we have to sell shares. Oh, the market is down. Oh, we have the risk of ruin, right? High yield gives us a chance to operate from strength. It's a mindset revolutionary change of the way that we normally invest. And could this possibly replace a salary in a few years? I mean, you saw the numbers, right? I kind of think it could. How do you feel about that? Last time, he was scratching his beard. Well, guess what? With these new numbers, he's still scratching his beard. Okay, if you want more like this, let me know. If you can also join the DIP program. I'm going to be tracking this portfolio without the big dog going forward pretty much forever. There will be information in the description if you want to get on board and get a newsletter and ask me questions, have access to me and do all that. That's fine. I'd love to develop a relationship with a small group of people that we do this over time and bounce ideas off each other, or you can just listen to me. But it's out there if you want to do that, or you can keep watching videos and I'll be tracking this as long as I'm able. Or alive. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you had a great holiday. Talk to you soon.